Rev it up and welcome to Cars Yeah, show number 2081, and rev it up indeed. This week on Cars Yeah, you best buckle up because we're celebrating the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion that takes place August 17th through the 20th at Weathertech Raceway Laguna Seca. To learn more and get your tickets, go to weathertechraceway.com. I'll see you there.
This is Cars Yeah, where you'll enjoy interviews with inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Mark Green is here to provide you with a fuel injection of automotive inspiration. So get in, sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride here on Cars Yeah.
Hello, inspiring automotive enthusiasts, and welcome to Cars Yeah. I'm so excited because today I'm in Salinas, California at one of my favorite places, Laguna Seca Racetrack, with a very special guest by the name of Jeanie Sumners. Jeanie, welcome to Cars Yeah. Do you have any gear, and are you ready to release the clutch?
I sure am, and thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to have some fun today. Now, before I give you a proper introduction, I want you to share with us one little thing that most people don't know about you.
Oh, my gosh. Now, that is a great question because mostly everyone knows everything about me. I've been here for a long time, and I truly love this industry. And more than anything, I love the people that I get to work with, whether it's the people that I work directly with here at the track or whether it's the manufacturers, the partners. I'm a people person.
Yeah, you are. You're great. And I'm going to give you an introduction. You folks will understand. Jeannie's been at the track for a long time. This is pretty cool. Jeanie Sumners is the Director of Marketing at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. She has lived in the Monterey Peninsula for almost 35 years and first started at Scramp volunteering at the track back in 1995. Scramp is the organization that ran that track. They started doing that back in the 50s. She's worked in many roles at Laguna Seca, including sales, media, print, during her many years of tenure. The annual Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion is a museum revving to life with hundreds of historic and period-correct race and sports cars from nearly every era. You get to walk amongst the cars, the drivers. You get to watch from the many track venues. You can walk around the whole track. The experience racing at the historic and iconic Laguna Seca Raceway is there's just nothing like it. Plan now for your trip because this is an experience of a lifetime. I've attended this race 31 times. I earned my racing license at Laguna Seca about 20 years ago, back when Skip Barber Racing School had a school there. So there you go. I've got a long history there too, but not as long as Jeannie's. We'll be back in just a minute, but first a word from our valued sponsors, so please give them a little love. Buckle up. We're at Laguna Seca. We'll be right back. You know, I've been an advocate for Covercraft products to protect my vehicles for decades, but did you know that they also offer you top quality products for your boats and watercraft? Covercraft puts their quality design, manufacturing, and fabrics into their full cover bimini tops, T-tops, boat lift covers, outboard motor covers, personal watercraft, and accessories. Protect your marine toys from damaging UV ray, and you'll get the same high-quality fit and finish you've come to know for your road vehicles for your watercraft. And I've got a great offer for you as well. As usual, use the code YEAH21 at covercraft.com, and you'll get 10% off your Covercraft order. That's right, 10% off. And you get some free shipping, too. Simply use the code YEAH21 at checkout. Covercraft, protecting the things that move you on the road and even on the water. Visit covercraft.com today. After listening to Cars Yeah, a buddy of mine ordered his custom Zengen oil analysis kit. And boy, is he glad he did. He thought his 10-year-old car was doing just fine. However, when he got his online Zengen score, the inner workings of his car engine told a very different story. His score was a 5 out of 10, and he learned a major repair was imminent. He shared his report with his mechanic and learned, well, he was facing a $7,000 rebuild. Maybe it's time to sell. Wouldn't you like to know what's lurking under your hood? At only $39.95 and free shipping both ways, your Zengen oil analysis kit is less than an oil change. It takes less than 5 minutes to collect your vehicle's sample and mail it back to their world-class labs. In only 5 days, Zengen sends you a link via email to your very own Zengen score. Your custom report measures 30 different data points, including contamination, lubricants, metals, additives, and a whole lot more. My buddy was so glad to learn his score and chose the option before a costly rebuild was needed. Go to ZenGenScore.com and use the code CARSYEAH20 and get 20% off your first 2 kits. Boom! What a deal. Preventative knowledge and maintenance could save you thousands, and you'll rest better at night knowing that your engine's condition is A-OK or maybe needs some help. And remember, Zengen also makes a spectacular Father's Day gift for Dad, and Father's Day is coming up soon. That's ZenGenScore.com and use the code CARSYEAH20 for 20% off today. Zengen, you'll rest better at night. Last year, I changed my collector car coverage to American Collectors Insurance. That's who now protects my Porsche Turbo, the one I call my Orange Crush. But did you know they also insure your valuable collections of automobilia and other collectibles? If you're like me, you've invested in a lot of cool collectibles over the years. Those items are valuable, and if you were to lose them in a theft or a fire, well, try to get your normal homeowner's insurance to pay you what they're worth. Good luck with that. American Collectors Insurance provides you with assurance and confidence that your collectibles are fully covered. They insure a lot of items, including automobilia, wine, baseball cards, books, figurines, die-cast models, model trains, glassware, sports memorabilia, toys, and a whole lot more. American Collectors Insurance, they've been protecting us enthusiasts since 1976. They provide you with an agreed value insurance policy backed by a long history of taking care of their clients. Give them a call today for your personal agreed value quote at 866-ACI-YEAH. That's 866-224-9324. Tell them you're a friend of mine, Mark Rains here at Cars Yeah, American Collectors Insurance. Classic car insurance designed by collectors for collectors. Automotive enthusiasts just like you and me. That's American Collectors Insurance. All right, Jeanie, we're on the track. We're about to fire up the cars and go have some fun. I would love for you to share with us kind of your beginnings and the evolution of your time there at Laguna Seca. And then we're going to dive into this summer's historic races because you guys have some really cool things planned. But let's go back in time. I mean, you started there as a volunteer and you just never left, did you?
That is correct. It's hard to leave something that, when you hear the power of the engines and the smell of the tires and the gas, and
yep.
But mostly that you see the passion from from the drivers, the teams, the manufacturers. There's just so much to be said about the passion that everyone has when they come to this track, or when they come for the first time, when they come up a road from Highway 68 and they see the whole facility, and it's a real eye-opener. It's an awesome, surreal feeling.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. One of the things that's neat about the Laguna Seca Raceway is when you come up the hill and then you come over the crest, you look down and you can almost see the entire track. It's just a beautiful little valley. It kind of sits in there. And the venue is so cool because you can walk around everywhere. You can see everything. And the historic races are something unique because you guys do a lot of different events. And let's touch on that first before we dive into the historic races. You host a lot of different kind of racing.
Yes, we do. We started out the season with the Trans Am Speed Fest, and that is the muscle cars. They are incredible. And many of those cars are also cars that you'll see during the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion. Then we go into IMSA and the Hyundai Monterey Sports Car Championship. It was a fantastic race, a fantastic event. The weather was perfect. Again, a lot of those cars started out in the 24 hours of Le Mans. Mm-hmm. So we can talk a little bit about that too as we start talking about the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion. And then we have 2 motorcycle events, the Geico Motorcycle Moto America Superbike Speed Fest at Monterey, which are, all the sport bikes and, of course, all the manufacturers. Then we go into the ARMA, a vintage motorcycle race, which is just incredible. And these are bikes that I'm sure many of your listeners have had a bike once in their history as kids or even as adults. But it's also an amazing event that you don't want to miss. And then, of course, we get into the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion, which is obviously one of our favorite events.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And then at the end of the season, we have our IndyCar event, which is the Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey. And we all have history on that, too.
Yeah, this is amazing. And what's really fun about this track, if any of you listeners have not been to this track, there's places to camp. Of course, there's Carmel by the Sea, there's Monterey, lots of places to stay, great restaurants, usually really great weather year round. I mean, it's just beautiful. And it's inland from the coast a little bit. I mean, there's nothing like going out to the track early in the morning. The fog is lifting and you start to hear the cars and everything starting up. This is a track that there's so much fun and so many things to do across the year. And they also have private events. There's lots of organizations that go out there and rent the track and clubs and things like that. But we're going to talk about the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion, one of my favorite things. So let's start off by talking about, usually there's a key mark, a key feature, something that is identifying each year's event. I'll never forget the year it was Ferrari and there were 24 GTOs running around the track all together. Oh. I couldn't believe that. Was that insane? Oh my gosh.
It was.
But this year we're talking about a tribute to the 100 years of Le Mans, right?
Yes, we are. Celebration is exactly what it's going to be.
Yeah. So walk into what that means for this year's historic reunion.
Okay. Well, we kick off the entire Monterey Car Week on Friday of the prior weekend with the parade. We're going to have 35 cars that have a CHP escort to downtown Monterey, Alvarado Street. And it's something that we do every year, and it's so fantastic because you have all of these race cars that actually drive on the street, and they park, and we have an announcer that talks about each and every one of those cars, and of course the owners. So it's something that you don't want to miss. It's our way of getting the community to understand what kind of cars are out here at the track. So as we move into the week of the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion, we have more than 400 historic race cars that have been accepted.
Wow.
And I believe he gets about 800 cars that actually, they put in there.
Yeah.
Exactly. There are 12 race groups, 4 of which are dedicated to the cars that raced or are eligible to race at Le Mans, spanning the years of 1923 to 2005.
Wow.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
We also have the popular historic Formula One cars from the 1966 to 1985 era. And then we have the historic Trans Am cars that raced from 1966 to 1972, which used to race here in the day, and some of them that have raced during the Trans Am events. And they're incredible cars. There's also going to be the special Ragtime Racers exhibition class, these are the pre-1920 racers. And for the first time at the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion, we're going to feature a group of saloon or touring cars from 1955 to 1969. These will include Mini Coopers, Alfa Romeos, BMWs, Ford Cortinas. We have a big group of these little cars to really add to the show.
Let's see what else we've got. We've got, did we talk about the IMSA GTO Trans Am cars? I think so. That those will be there. Le Mans prototypes and GT1 cars. Formula Atlantic, Formula Junior. I mean, I can't, as you can tell, I'm a little excited here because I've been coming to this event for 30 plus years, and it's just so much fun. And one of the great things I mentioned earlier is you can walk around the paddock area and walk up to all these cars. The owners are sitting there. You can talk to them. Some of them are kind enough to let you sit in their cars or let your kids sit in their cars and take pictures. But there's also marques there. So big manufacturers there with displays, professional racers. You never know who you're going to see walking around. Famous race car drivers, both current and from the past. And who doesn't want to see historic Formula One cars run around the track? Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. You're exactly right. And our big centerpiece display is a tribute to the 24 Hours of Le Mans. We currently have 20 overall winners, 20 class winners, and a number of interesting and significant cars that actually raced there at Le Mans. These are the real cars. These are cars. Barry's been doing such a fabulous job of reaching out and actually getting the cars I can't even tell you. It's hard to even fathom when I see them, but he's done a great job, and it's going to be a great, great show.
Yeah, and for you listeners, Barry's been a guest on the show. You can go back and find his show here in the cars. Yeah, he's also another one that's been out at that track for a long, long time. Now, I think it's a little different this year. Typically, the Historics originally were Saturday, Sunday, then they expanded to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This year, is it Wednesday through Saturday? Is that the stretch?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
That's something new.
Yeah, the reason that we changed that was many of our participants, manufacturers, partners, also go to the Pebble Beach Concours. So rather than seeing on Sunday, seeing everybody leave the track, we thought, let's make it convenient for them and open it up so that they can take their cars and show their cars also at the Pebble Beach Concours. And it's a show for everyone. And it's seemingly working out perfectly. And so on Sunday, we're going to make that a day of doing something different on track. And I'm sure once Barry finalizes everything, he's going to make that announcement on the fun things that we're going to be doing on track on Sunday.
Well, there you go, listeners. I think that's a brilliant idea. It was always a difficult thing with the Pebble Beach Concours, like, I want to go to that, but I want to go back to the track. How do I do that? And we all know that you can't do everything that week because there's just too much to do. But again, listeners, Car Week is an iconic destination vacation. I've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's so much fun. Take a good buddy, take a kid. If you can't have anybody to go with, you'll have plenty of friends you'll meet there when you get there. I can promise you that. Yeah, it's a really, really fun event. So I'll make sure I put links to how to get tickets, and you need to get tickets early, most definitely. And you want to book your rooms now for a place to stay.
Oh, yes.
Because it gets very busy out there. So this is a really, really fun thing. And the cool thing is now I can fly direct from Seattle right down to the Monterey airport. I don't have to go into San Jose and drive. So even better. I'm already booked. I've got my accommodations. I'm going to be there. I cannot wait. Now, I want to talk about what I call a driving inspiration. It sounds like to me, Jeanie, your inspiration comes from being at the track all these years and all the incredible people that have come and raced there and participated there. Is there anybody that has been someone that you can really kind of I know there's probably been a lot of people, but stands out for you as a great influential person in your life?
Oh, there are so many. But I mean, if you're talking about as far as a driver, I'm one really comes to mind because I've always admired him and met him as a volunteer, actually, and that's Mario Andretti. Mario Andretti, during a Rolex Monterey Motorsports, actually, I take that back. It was during the Champ Car days. He was sponsoring, or Firestone was sponsoring him, and he was opening up a gas station in Carmel Valley. Ah. And so I, as a volunteer, I was the chaperone to Miss Laguna Seca and the court, and I had to have the girls there. And so it gave me an opportunity to talk to Mario, and I just thought he was wonderful and that he was so passionate about racing and passionate about his fans and the people that come to see him. Very humble man. As the many years have gone on, I've watched him, and last year, I saw him, doing the two-seater rides. Oh, yeah. And he's so humble. But the thing that I love the most about him is his family. And his daughter I've been working with, who's also a part of IndyCar, but he's got an incredible family, and they are just as humble and passionate as he is. And to me, that is, I admire that so much.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, very darn cool. Well, we're going to take a short break, a little pit stop here. When we come back, got a few more questions about your life and your passion for cars, so keep the seatbelt cinched. We'll change the tires, check the oil and the fuel, and we'll be right back. Auto Geek's Blackfire SiO2 Spray Sealant. It's a spray-on, wipe-off sealant that's quick, safe, and easy to clean and protect your vehicles. I love using it on all my cars. Auto Geek's Blackfire SiO2 Spray Sealant is a spray-on, wipe-away sealant that uses SiO2 ingredients to provide a slick, brilliant, and long-lasting shine. Silicon dioxide is known to be one of the most effective ingredients in car care products, and Blackfire Spray Sealant takes advantage of every stunning feature it has to offer. This sealant will protect your paint from road film, dirt, and other common contaminants while providing an impeccable, long-lasting, hydrophobic surface that forces water to sheet and bead on your paint for months. Go to autogeek.net to get yours and for the best product selections on the internet today, along with their skilled technical support. Autogeek.net is where I go for all my detailing needs. That's autogeek.net. Check them out today. I've discovered Linkage. It's a new quarterly publication and website that covers the automotive market, driving, restoring, collecting, and discovering your passion for motor vehicles. Linkage is about experiences, opinions, and values. Linkage is an actual informed, reasoned opinion based on first-hand experiences. A talented Linkage team covers the automotive world, the people who share your passion and mine, smart, considered, rational, and experienced opinions, ones you can learn from and grow. That includes our passion that drives auctions and the collector car market. So come with me and join us on this journey. And be sure to use the code CARSYEAH when you subscribe, and they'll give you $10 off. Boom! Linkage, geared for the automotive life. Subscribe today at linkagemag.com. Being a professional automotive technician today requires an understanding of technology, computers, and electrical systems that are highly advanced and very complex. Cars Yeah is pleased to support TechForce Foundation. It's one of our charities of choice, and its efforts to help young people pursue the technical education and careers as automotive techs. Through scholarships, grants, and good old-fashioned hands-on experience with cars, trucks, boats, and more, TechForce and Cars Yeah are working to connect young people with viable careers in the automotive sector. Join us by visiting techforce.org today. So, Jeanie, let's talk about a big obstacle. Big pothole in the road, I guess we could call that. This is what I call the challenge question. This is something that you've run up against that maybe was a big obstacle, failure, challenge, whatever. The real reason behind this question is, what did you learn from it? So take us on a little bit of a rough ride around the track.
Knew you would ask that question.
Yeah, I do. But it teaches us a lot of good things when we have challenging times, right?
Well, one of the things that you never want to do is get into politics. Because
yeah. Ooh.
Do I really need to say more than that?
No, I think we're on. We'll go to the next question now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always the tough thing, and that's something that I feel like everybody, when they run into anything that becomes political, you can never win. No one ever wins.
No one ever wins. No, it's
so
ugly.
To me, that has really been the biggest obstacle. I think that's all I can say about that.
Yeah, well, I think what you're alluding to here is big changes that occurred out there at the track the last couple of years, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we won't get into that because it really changed things and was disruptive, but things have seemed to settle down now and moving ahead in a positive direction. But anybody listening out there that goes, what are they talking about? You can probably find out everything you need to know if you just Google it and do a little research. But yeah, politics they mucky up everything in so many ways, and they're so challenging. And that's why, on this show, I kind of stay out of all politics because especially these days, you just can't win, and people get passionate, and I understand why. Yeah, we're all about fun today. So let's talk about a special vehicle in your life. I'd love for you, and I'm going to twist this up for you a little bit. Well, actually, first I'm going to ask you if there is a special vehicle in your life, and then I'm going to augment that with something else. So let's start there. Is there a special vehicle in your life that you've had or been a part of your life that was quite fun for you?
Well, actually, I am from Colorado. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I wanted to learn how to drive a stick shift. So I was about 17, I believe, and I bought it's a crazy car, and don't make fun of me.
And I won't.
But it was a Chevy Monza.
Okay.
Ugly little car, but it was a stick shift, and it was orange, and I am a Denver Bronco fan.
Ah, okay.
So to me, it was my little orange crush car. But I purchased this car. It was a used car. I purchased it so I could learn how to drive a stick shift. And in the area that I lived, there was, in order for me to, after I purchased the car, was to go get it insured. The day I purchased it.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I'm going straight over to Farmers Insurance. And I had to go up this hill, and
with a stick shift.
Actually, I burned up the clutch on the first
day. Ouch.
So, ouch is yes, it's true. So that car has a lot of memories to me. I did learn how to drive a stick shift, and I love driving stick shifts. And as you know, in today's world, not many people know how to drive or even want to drive a stick shift, which is crazy to me because I think they're awesome.
Well, it's a good theft deterrent. Just buy a stick shift car because, the thief will look in and go, nope, next. I'm not going to drive that.
Yeah, no kidding. They're so much fun to drive.
Yeah.
They really are.
Well, it's funny you mentioned this was your Orange Crush car because I have a very special collector car that I call my Orange Crush that my listeners know.
What?
Oh, yeah. It's a 1987 Porsche Turbo. It's in a very rare pearl metallic orange. I'll send you a picture of it, or you can find it on my Instagram page. Yeah, it's a car I bought about 12 plus years ago, and I just fell in love with it. So it was my Orange Crush. So there you go.
That is so, I love hearing that. That's
kind of
great.
fun. Okay, now I'm going to switch this up a little bit for you. We're going to have a little fun with this question, okay? Special vehicle story. Is there one, I know this is probably impossible, but just whatever comes to your head first, one vehicle of all the years you've been at Laguna Seca, could be a race car, street car, whatever, maybe even got to go for a ride or drive it around the track. Is there one car you've taken around the track at Laguna Seca that really stands out for you as special?
Not one that I drove around the track, but during a Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion, we had a Bugatti here.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know if you remember that year.
Is that the Bugatti that spun on the straightaway?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That was frightening. Oh, my gosh. You weren't in there, were you?
No, but I would have. I wish I would have been in. But that car to me, it was amazing. Just seeing it and having it on the track and knowing that it was going to go to Pebble Beach the next day. But the driver, oh my gosh!
Oh, that was horrible. It ended fine.
It wasn't. He was fine.
It was okay. Car was
good.
okay.
He got himself out of it. He was going for he was going for the. Yeah. But he handled it, and but it's a beautiful car, and it was really awesome watching it on the track for sure.
I think he did a little Danny Sullivan spin and win kind of thing, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was when that happened. I think you could hear a pin drop on that track. Yeah,
and that's the truth. That is definitely
I'm sure
true.
his heart is probably still in his throat from that experience. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to be your car psychologist here today, Jeanie. I'm going to give you a box of tissues. I'm going to crawl on your head, lean back on the couch here. If you were reincarnated, pun intended, as the vehicle, not what you want to be, but how you perceive the lady in the mirror, what would you be and why?
Well, a Porsche.
Oh, I love
Porsche
it.
Porsche is so beautiful and has the most beautiful lines. And, all of the art that you see being in marketing, there are so many cars that I get to see and we get to use for advertising purposes and working for an agency. I just feel like Porsche has always been a beautiful car from every aspect. One day I will have a Porsche.
There you
go. No question. But right now I'm driving a beautiful Lexus.
Nice cars.
And grateful for that. Yeah. But Porsche is definitely the car that I think represents
you. I can't wait for the day you get that Porsche and Barry lets you take it out on the track. You give him a ride. You don't do any spins to win though. So, when you come up that straightaway and the car lightens up on that crest, do not lift. Keep your foot in it, okay? That's where that guy got himself in trouble, I think, if my memory serves me right. But, I've raced on that track, and I had a little Lotus Formula Junior 1960 that I raced on that track, and, of course, got to go through the driving school there. And there's some places on that track that'll bite you. You've got to be very careful. We'll just put it that way. The famous corkscrew is a little diabolical in the back there. I think it's turn 6 or 7 that will get you if you don't watch out. The wall of death, as the driver's instructors told me about. Back there.
That is true.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what was the area I did go off track there was coming through the turn 4. It's a little deceiving, and you think you can go carry a little more speed through there and drop some tires in the sand there. But no harm, no foul. That happens. Is there a great book that you'd like to share with our listeners that you really enjoyed?
Oh my gosh, I've read so many great books. How about one that is, I'm kind of like the mom of the office, and I'm always, giving little spiritual things to everyone. But
Nice.
I think the Da Vinci Code, Da Vinci Code was always a great book for me to read. It's one of my favorite books. But I think that's I can say that's on the top.
Yeah, it's a great book. So, and didn't they make a movie about that too?
They did.
I think with Tom Hanks
but
or somebody maybe, or
was it Tom Hanks? I think
can't
it was,
remember.
but the book was so much better than the movie.
Well, they always are.
Like,
I think Dan Brown, I think, was the author of that book. So,
yes, he was.
Yeah, great book. All right. Here's the cool deal. I'm going to be like the ultimate sponsor for you today, Jeanie. I'm going to enable you to go on what I call the ultimate drive. You can pick any car in the world. I'll give it to you. If you want the Bugatti, it's yours. You can be going anywhere in that car, and you can be with anyone, even somebody who's no longer with us, somebody who's passed. What's the ultimate drive look like for a lady like you?
Wow. Well, I would love to be in that Bugatti.
Okay. You're going to be an expensive date, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to have Mario Andretti drive. He just is so amazing, and I watch how he drives, and he does the 2-seater, each year for IndyCar. I just think he's amazing, and I would trust him because you don't always trust everybody, right?
No, I'm not a good passenger at all.
I trust our pace car drivers. They're pretty incredible, but I would trust, of course, Mario.
Well, I'll tell you something. I had an interesting experience, and I don't know if you guys still do this, but this was back a while. My son was quite young. He was only about 8 or 9. And on the Thursday before the Historic started on Friday back then, you could jump into a pace car, and they were doing kind of not hot laps, but laps to lead other historic drivers around the track to kind of show them the proper line. So I think it was the Skip Barber guys that were doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so my son said, can I go? And they let him jump in the car, put a helmet on him, and he had a blast. He came in. Back then they were Vipers is what they were using.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And then I jumped in the car, and we were not supposed to be passed by drivers, and a gentleman from Japan was driving a Porsche. I think it was a 910, and he passed us going into turn, let's see, what's the turn 3 going into the bridge there before you get under the bridge.
Yes.
And he went by us, and the guy driving, he was a young man, very skilled. He had one hand on the wheel, one with the radio in his hand. And he said, that guy, he was talking to somebody on the radio. He said, that guy's not supposed to be passing me. Well, as he was talking, I was looking in front, and I could see that car was dropping oil. And I said, he's dropping oil. And the guy, I distracted him. He turned and looked at me and he said, what? And I said, he's dropping oil. And right then we went into the oil, and the car rotated. We went off the track backwards into the little barrier wall. Not too hard of an impact, but the car hit hard enough that the radio went out of his hand and out the window.
Oh, no.
And I looked at him and I said, uh-oh, sorry about that. And he went, said some expletives. And so we were sitting under the bridge with our tail into the Jersey barrier.
No,
and away went that. Yeah, it was an interesting experience. So they had to come and get us.
Oh, my
and
God.
we came in, and my son was like, Dad, what happened? And of course, that night, my son was on the phone with my wife and said, Dad was in a car that crashed on the racetrack, which is not what you want to say to your wife. No. Yeah. So,
no, you certainly do not.
That was an interesting one. Yeah, I was fine. It was no big deal. Yeah. But we had
That's great. That's great that everything worked out okay.
Oh, of course.
And it was going slow enough to be able to.
Yeah. No, the guy was very skilled. I felt bad for him. And of course, all his co-trainers were laughing hysterically at him for that. So, just one of those things. Tracks happen. Racing happens. So I would love for you to give our listeners some little parting quote of advice or experience. And I'm going to start it off by saying one of the great slogans you have there as it's more than a racetrack, it's an experience, right?
Yes. Yes, it is. And a few of the things that we're doing as we move forward, and thanks to John Narigi, we have a Ferris wheel.
What?
He went to, so he went to Daytona, and he saw the big Ferris wheel there, and he said, that is what I want to make sure that we have at the track.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. So we really want to have activities for families. There are so many kids that come here, and who doesn't want to have a Ferris wheel, and who doesn't want to get on a Ferris wheel? So we have it set up, the Ferris wheel, go-karts, lots of family fun things to do. So the food, obviously, the food that we have here is always great because it's, we're a destination and we have some incredible restaurants. So we really elevated it, and I know that when you come here, you're going to really appreciate the experience and the attention to detail, because John is all about guest experience, and it's important to all of us to take away some great memories.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait for August. Again, listeners, we're celebrating the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion. It takes place August 17th through the 20th at the WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. To learn more and go get your tickets now, just go to weathertechraceway.com. Google pretty much anything Laguna Seca Raceway, WeatherTech Raceway, whatever you want to do. It'll get you to the track website where you can get your tickets. Make sure you have a way to get in and have fun. But, if you don't and you find yourself there, you can buy tickets on the roadway in, right?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Jeanie, thanks for being so generous today with your time and expertise. Many thanks to Barry. Now, he said he was going to poke his head in and make a funny face at you during our talk today. Did he? I don't think he did that, though. He stayed clear, didn't he?
No, he didn't. I was hoping he would. He was going to come and just sit in the chair across from my desk and
make funny faces.
and make funny. Yeah, he didn't do it.
Well, good. He was being nice today. Though. Yeah, he's an honored character. Well, until you and I talk again, I'll see you at the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion at the WeatherTech Raceway in Laguna Seca in August. I can't wait to see you.
Oh, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you too.
Absolutely.
All right. Sounds wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride here at Cars Yeah. Drive on over to carsyeah.com to find show notes and inspiring automotive fun. Download your free copy of Filler Up, a fun book filled with gorgeous photographs of fuel filler fun, including quotes from more inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Download your copy today, and we'll see you next time on Cars Yeah.